The baseball world was sent into an absolute frenzy after a deeply disturbing incident unfolded during the Dodgers and Brewers matchup that left fans, players, and officials completely stunned. The Milwaukee Brewers' first baseman delivered what many are now calling one of the dirtiest hits ever witnessed in recent Major League Baseball history, and the target was none other than Shohei Ohtani. The moment it happened, the entire stadium erupted in outrage. Cameras captured everything in real time, and within seconds, the footage was spreading across every social media platform in the world. How did this dirty hit happen? What did the umpire do in response? And how is Shohei Ohtani doing after one of the most shocking moments of his career? When fans inside the stadium realized what had just happened, the reaction was immediate and overwhelming. People were on their feet, screaming in disbelief. Players from the Dodgers dugout rushed to the edge of the field. Even several Brewers players were visibly uncomfortable with what their own teammate had done. The umpire, who had a perfect line of sight to the entire incident, did not hesitate for a single second. What followed was one of the most decisive and talked about rulings in recent MLB memory, and it sent a message that nobody in that stadium would forget for a very long time. To fully understand the severity of what happened, it is important to set the scene from the very beginning of that game. Sources close to both teams revealed that tensions had already been simmering before the first pitch was even thrown. There was an edge in the air that several players and coaches noticed during warm-ups. Those who were present described the pre-game atmosphere as unusually charged, with both teams clearly aware that this was not going to be an ordinary game. As the game progressed, the competitive intensity between the two sides continued to build with every inning. The Dodgers were playing with tremendous energy, and Shohei Ohtani was at the absolute center of everything, as he almost always is. Every time Ohtani stepped to the plate or made a play in the field, the crowd responded with roaring enthusiasm. It was clear to everyone inside that stadium that the Brewers players were feeling the pressure of trying to contain one of the most unstoppable forces in all of baseball. It was in this highly charged atmosphere that the Brewers' first baseman made a decision that would change the course of the game and ignite one of the biggest controversies of the entire MLB season. According to multiple eyewitnesses, the hit was not accidental. It was not a result of poor timing or a misjudged play. Those who saw it up close described it as a deliberate, calculated, and completely unacceptable act that crossed every line of professional conduct in the sport. The moment the hit landed, the reaction inside the stadium was unlike anything most fans had experienced in years. The crowd noise dropped for just a fraction of a second as people processed what they had just witnessed, and then it exploded into a wall of fury and outrage. Dodgers players immediately reacted, with several of them moving toward the scene with expressions of absolute disbelief and anger. Even the usually composed Dodgers coaching staff was visibly shaken by what had just unfolded right in front of their eyes. Manager Dave Roberts was on his feet instantly. According to those who were standing near the dugout, Roberts moved to the edge of the field with a look of complete fury on his face. Sources say that Roberts had to be urged by his coaches to remain calm in that moment, as the situation was already highly volatile and any further escalation could have made things significantly worse. Roberts, to his credit, managed to keep his composure even as the anger was clearly visible in his eyes. The umpire, who had witnessed the entire incident from a position of perfect visibility, immediately stepped forward and took control of the situation. There was no confusion, no hesitation, and no lengthy discussion. The ruling came swiftly and firmly, and it reflected exactly how serious the umpire considered the Brewers' first baseman's actions to be. The player was ejected from the game on the spot, and the penalty that followed made it absolutely clear that this type of behavior had absolutely no place in Major League Baseball. After the game, manager Dave Roberts stood before the media and did not mince a single word. He opened his press conference by addressing the incident directly and immediately, making it clear that he had no intention of dancing around the subject. Roberts said that what the Brewers' first baseman did was a disgrace to the sport and that any player who deliberately targets another player in that manner deserves exactly the punishment that was handed down. He said the umpire made the right call and that he personally had nothing but respect for the way the situation was handled on the field. Roberts then shifted his attention to Shohei Ohtani. He told reporters that Ohtani was being evaluated by the team's medical staff following the incident and that the Dodgers were taking every necessary precaution to ensure their star player was fully healthy and ready to continue. Roberts praised Ohtani's toughness and said that despite everything that happened, Ohtani's focus never wavered. He said that watching Ohtani handle that kind of situation with grace and professionalism was a reminder of just how special he truly is, both as a player and as a person. Roberts also made a point of addressing the broader message that came out of this incident. He said that baseball is a sport built on respect, and when that respect is violated in such a blatant and deliberate way, the entire baseball community must stand together and make clear that it will not be accepted. He said that the Dodgers organization fully supported the umpire's decision and expected the league to follow up with additional disciplinary measures as quickly as possible. Freddie Freeman was among the first Dodgers players to speak to reporters after the game. Freeman said that when he saw what happened, his first instinct was to immediately check on Ohtani. He described rushing over to make sure his teammate was okay and said that the look on Ohtani's face in that moment was something he would not forget. Freeman said that even in a moment like that, Ohtani remained composed and was more focused on reassuring his teammates than on his own situation, which Freeman said was typical of the kind of person Ohtani is. Freeman also did not hold back when asked about the Brewers' first baseman's actions. He said that there was no place in baseball for that kind of behavior and that every player in the league knows the difference between hard, competitive play and something that is deliberately meant to harm another player. Freeman made it clear that the Dodgers would not forget what happened and that moments like this only strengthen the bond within their clubhouse and their determination to compete at the highest possible level. Mookie Betts also spoke passionately about the incident. Betts said that seeing a teammate targeted in that way was deeply upsetting for everyone in the Dodgers dugout. He described the atmosphere in the clubhouse after the game as one of quiet anger and determination. Betts said that the team channeled everything they felt in that moment into their performance and that going forward, the entire Dodgers roster would be playing with an even greater sense of purpose and unity than before. Within hours of the incident, MLB officials confirmed that a formal review had been launched. The league office stated that all available footage of the incident had been collected and that a thorough investigation was already underway. Sources inside the league revealed that officials were treating the matter with the utmost seriousness and that additional penalties beyond the on-field ejection were being strongly considered. Former players and analysts across the baseball world quickly reacted to the news. Several prominent voices described the Brewers' first baseman's actions as one of the most blatant violations of player conduct they had witnessed in years. Many praised the umpire for stepping in immediately and delivering a ruling that reflected the severity of the situation. Others called on the league to go further and send an even stronger message with additional suspensions or fines that would make clear to every player in the sport that this type of behavior carries serious consequences. Fans around the world flooded social media with messages of support for Shohei Ohtani. The outpouring was enormous, with thousands of people expressing their anger at what had happened and their admiration for the way Ohtani handled himself throughout the entire incident. Trending topics related to Ohtani and the Brewers dominated social media platforms for hours, reflecting just how deeply this moment resonated with baseball fans everywhere. As the dust begins to settle, the focus inside the Dodgers organization has already shifted back to where it always belongs, winning baseball games. Manager Dave Roberts confirmed that Ohtani is in good condition and that the team expects him to be fully available going forward. Roberts said the Dodgers are not dwelling on what happened and that their eyes are firmly fixed on the season ahead. For Shohei Ohtani, this is simply another chapter in a career that has already been filled with extraordinary moments, both triumphant and challenging. Those closest to him say that he has already moved past the incident and that his only focus now is on performing at his best and helping the Los Angeles Dodgers achieve everything they set out to accomplish this season. The Brewers' first baseman may have thought that a dirty hit could slow down Shohei Ohtani. He was wrong. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Subscribe to our channel for more interesting and up-to-date information.